Walking the Camino de Santiago solo can be an incredible journey of self-discovery. It can also be a little daunting, especially for a woman walking alone. A few years ago, I walked the Camino del Norte by myself for well over 40 days, covering over 500 miles. A link to those videos is posted above. During that time, I felt safe walking alone, and I only encountered one little incident that made me feel a bit nervous. I'll discuss that later in this video. But the reason I felt safe walking alone in a foreign country through cities, towns, farmland, and isolated forest regions was because of the preparation I did before leaving and while on the Camino. So in this video, I want to share with you 10 safety tips that I've learned from my experience as a solo traveler so that you can feel safe and confident while traveling along the Camino de Santiago. Tip number 1. Once you've decided which of the many Camino routes you plan to walk, share your plans with loved ones. And be sure to check in regularly while you're on the trail. That'll certainly give them peace of mind. In addition, I recommend that you register with the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. This is specifically for those from the U.S. The Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, called STEP, is a free service to allow U.S. citizens and nationals to enroll their trip abroad so that the Department of State can accurately and quickly contact them in the case of an emergency. So think about issues of health, weather, safety, security within a country. This will help the embassy or the consulate contact you if there is an emergency. I'll post a link to that below. Tip number 2, learn a few phrases in Spanish before you leave, such as hello, thank you, where's the bathroom, and I need help. My experience is that the locals really appreciate the fact that I attempt to speak their language rather than expecting them to speak mine. You'll learn a few phrases along the Camino. Certainly, café con leche will be one of them. I also recommend that you have some type of a translation app on your phone for those situations in which you may need to communicate at a deeper level. I use Google Translate, and I have found it very useful in situations where I need to carry on a conversation that goes beyond my basic Spanish. Tip number 3. I recommend using something like AirTags or a similar type of device in your backpack and anything that you might be carrying separately, such as a fanny pack or a small purse or day pack. And share the tag information with someone who is not traveling with you. I've never had a problem with anything being stolen on the Camino, but an ounce of prevention gives me a peace of mind, and I'm sure it will you as well. Tip number 4 is related to money. Call your debit and credit card companies before you leave so that your travel plans are on file. Otherwise, you might find that your transactions are denied. Also, I recommend having a VPN on all of your electronic devices, especially if you intend to do any type of online banking or personal or business communication. In addition, don't flash your cash. On the Camino, you will find yourself carrying perhaps more cash than you are used to. Cash is king. It is preferred over credit cards in the majority of places. I put cash in multiple places. In my backpack, maybe my fanny pack. I have a little in my day bag for purchases that I make along the Camino. Now, If during the day, if I find myself needing to refresh my little day pack, I will go into a restroom and take out my cash from my little secret compartment and put it in my day pack. That way, no one sees where I got my cash from, nor how much I actually took out. Okay. It is just something to think about. Again, many of us are not used to carrying a lot of cash. So just be thoughtful, be mindful, and don't flash your cash. Tip number 5, make a list of your medications, both over the counter as well as your prescription medications. You should have a copy of your prescriptions with you or use an app on your phone that would provide a list in case medical officials need to access that. Also, if you do have prescription medicine, I recommend taking a photo of either your prescription or of the pill or bottle so that if you need to have that prescription filled while on the Camino, that will help the pharmacist. Tip number 6, know how to get help if needed. In Spain, the emergency phone number is 112, not 911, 112. Program that into your phone. Also, along the Camino, you may encounter the Guardia Civil or the Policia Nacional, the Civil Guard or National Police. They have dedicated units that patrol along the more popular Camino routes, such as the Camino Francés, the Camino Portuguese, and the Camino del Norte. The Civil Guard, typically they are in green uniforms, often on horseback, sometimes on bicycles, and they have basic English skills. They are there to assist pilgrims. The National Police, they are typically in darker uniforms, very well marked, and you might see them in major cities. All Cops app allows you to press a button and it will link you directly to local authorities with basic English skills who can provide assistance if you need it. Again, I've never had to use it, but it's nice to have just in case. Tip number 7, be visible, especially in the early morning hours or in bad weather. Use the light on your phone or wear a headlamp when walking in the early morning hours. The key, be visible. You want to know where you are walking, particularly if you're walking in a more isolated area. You want to know where you're stepping. Or if you're walking along a roadway, you want to make sure people can see you. And speaking of visibility, it can be very foggy, misty, rainy. I was very glad to have my bright orange poncho. Yes, I looked like a walking pumpkin along the Camino. That was okay, because on the very misty and rainy days, I knew that oncoming cars, motorcycles, and other pilgrims could easily see me. So think about visibility with your clothing. Tip number 8, have a whistle or some other device to make noise on you at all times, as well as a walking pole or stick. Many backpacks have a whistle built into the chest strap, so you may want to look and see if yours has one. Either of these items would have come in very handy one morning while I was on the Camino. It happened on day 33 on the Camino del Norte. I'll put a link to that day's video. I was walking along a small path. On either side of me are very tall cornfields. I could hear something rustling to the right, but it wasn't barking, so I didn't think it was a dog. All of a sudden, out onto a clearing came a pack of wild boars. And I mean, these guys were big, all right? Big wild boars, the teeth, everything big. One of them came out right in front of me, about 30 feet away from me. And he was stomping on the ground and grunting. And I thought to myself, great, what do I do? It's 7 a.m. I had not even had my coffee yet. And I thought to myself, well, I know what I'd do if it was a bear. So I raised my arms and I went, rawr, and I made a lot of noise and shook around. And believe it or not, I scared him away. So, lesson learned. Make sure you have some kind of noise device, some type of a stick or pokey thing handy. During my entire time on the Camino, 40 plus days, that is the only day I encountered any type of wildlife. But I can assure you, the next day, when I was walking through a fairly desolate forest, I picked up a stick and had it with me just in case. Tip number 9, be aware of your surroundings at all times, especially when walking around roadways. I do not recommend wearing headphones or earbuds while walking. You need to be completely aware of your surroundings. Cars, motorcycles, bicycles can come up on you very, very quickly, and it could spook you. So please be aware of your surroundings at all times. Tip number 10, plan your transportation options. There may be days that you just don't feel like walking, and that's okay. Maybe the weather is bad. Maybe your feet are hurting. Whatever the conditions, plan to use only reliable transportation options, meaning taxis that are recommended by the hostels or the hotels, or the local bus systems, which I have found to be very reliable and very inexpensive. I used them several times on the Camino del Norte when the weather was really, really bad. I also use the app Rome to Rio when booking trains or buses throughout Europe. It provides great options, schedules, and I can even order tickets in some instances directly through the app. Something to look at. I suggest having it on your phone as a nice resource. I hope my tips will help you feel safe and confident along the Camino. And if you have any safety tips that maybe I didn't think about, please share them in the comments below. I know others would love to hear them. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the notification button. It will really help this channel to reach a broader audience. Thank you again. Take care. Bye-bye.